A Norwegian tourist named Mads Mikkelsen landed in Newark Airport. On arrival, he was detained by immigration agents who demanded access to his cell phone and then denied him entry to the U.S. Mikkelsen says that after being warned he could face a fine or even prison, he gave immigration officers the PIN code to his phone. He was then confronted with its contents, in particular, a meme of U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance portrayed as bald and a private photo of a pipe.
Welcome back, viewers. Dave Epstein here from the Post-Pollock firm. Today we're here to talk about a new world. I would say it's a brave new world, but I don't think it's very brave. In fact, it's kind of troubling. I'll let you see this news story. Now, I have not. There are a lot of questions I have about it. I'll caution you with that. But this news story that was reported is being reported everywhere about somebody who was turned around. I believe it was Newark Airport, one of the airports in our area, and you'll see why. Here, let's watch the video and we'll talk about it a bit.
About 2 weeks ago, a Norwegian tourist named Mads Mikkelsen, who is not to be confused with the Danish actor from the James Bond and Marvel movies, landed in Newark Airport. On arrival, he was detained by immigration agents who demanded access to his cell phone and then denied him entry to the U.S. As one Norwegian news outlet, which spoke to him, reports, quote, Mikkelsen says that after being warned he could face a fine or even prison, he gave immigration officers the PIN code to his phone. He was then confronted with its contents, pictures the officers found questionable. In particular, a meme of U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance portrayed as bald and a private photo of a pipe. Specifically, Mikkelsen says the immigration officials objected to this viral meme of the vice president depicting him as a bald baby. This and hundreds like it are all over the internet, as some of our viewers may have seen. Now, U.S. Customs and Border Protection has responded to these allegations. They say Mikkelsen was not denied entry to the United States because of this meme you can see on your screen. CBP says that it was over, quote, his admitted drug use. Mikkelsen says that he told the agency he smoked marijuana exactly twice in his life, once in Germany, once in New Mexico. But not everyone seems to believe that explanation. And if anything, suspected censorship of the Vance meme may have brought even more attention to it, which can happen in cases like this. Yesterday, Democratic Senator Ron Wyden of Oregon shared the viral meme of Vice President J.D. Vance on social media. And in fact, that meme, the one you're looking at right here, even made its way to the floor of Irish Parliament.
We're watching a major incursion on freedom of expression, unthinkable in a Western democracy. This week, a young Norwegian tourist detained by ICE at Newark Airport and sent back to Oslo. Why? He had this meme on his phone, Minister, a meme depicting Vice President J.D. Vance as a baby. I mean, extraordinary, extraordinary. That a young person with this amusing meme on their phone depicting a public person, that this would be used as an excuse to detain him for 5 hours and then deport him back to Oslo.
Again, DHS and CBP deny that's the reason. But, you know, just in case they are not telling us the full story here, please, dear viewers, I hope you take appropriate precautions. I strongly recommend that you do not try to cross the border with this meme on your phone, or this meme, or this meme, or this one. There is absolutely nothing funny about having any of these on your phone. We are just looking out for your own safety here.
Well, okay, viewers, has been 100 degrees plus for the last week, but that's not really why I feel kind of hot under the collar. MSNBC, who produced this, now granted they have, they're accused of having a liberal slant, and there's so much politics floating around it could drive you crazy. But let's face facts. Is it that unbelievable that under the current regime and the way things are, that somebody would get detained or somebody could say, let me look in your phone, and they find a meme that's not flattering to the vice president? Is that hard to believe in this day and age? No, because there are open attacks on the press, on free speech, on freedom of expression, on freedom of assembly. We are not, to say a normal place is a massive understatement. So now somebody coming in, a guy from Norway, I don't know if, for example, he was seeking to work here, or he was here on a visa, or whether he was just here traveling. But if this is the way we're going now, and I got to tell you the truth, I don't know the whole story, but I know that what has been going on, whether it's ICE, whether it's customs, it's thug-like behavior. And it's this, we can do whatever we want, and nobody can stop us, and they'll infringe upon rights, bullying the press into being quiet, bullying the judiciary into being quiet, bullying colleges into being quiet. And that is so antithetical to the United States of America's ideals of free speech, democracy, and that the open flow of ideas is what makes us great. Instead, you have to say all the right things, and if you don't, I mean, hear this guy, he's just, for all I know, he's just visiting America, and because he has this meme, which, by the way, is pretty funny if you ask me, he has this meme on his phone, maybe that is why they threw him out. Let's take it even back, step back a bit. What was the stated reason? Oh, his admitted drug use. Well, first of all, the guy was in Newark. Now, granted, it's on federal property, but he's in Newark. You know what happens in Newark if you're about to fly out and you get caught with marijuana? They send you off to the local police. While technically you're not supposed to have it outside your house, you'll be lucky if you get a slap on the wrist. It's legal in New Jersey. Most of Europe, or much of Europe, has legalized the use of marijuana. The idea that somebody comes in and says, I have smoked pot, and that's a reason why you're going to keep them out. Again, this is part of this thug-like, I don't know if I call it law enforcement or culture that we are breeding, and we got to knock this stuff off. If the guy had a criminal record, I guess now they want to screen anybody who comes in. Okay, maybe there's a point for that. But this business of you admitted to drug use, we've gotten to this point, they're just dreaming up anything they can to throw people out. Frankly, I don't think they think of the consequences of where this is all going to take us. I mean, aside from the fact that we have alienated what were once our greatest allies in the world in a variety of ways. I mean, look, they're actually talking about this nonsense in the Irish Parliament. But anybody, we know who's on which side. I'm on this side, you're on that side politically. Every American should be outraged by this. I don't care if you love this administration or the last administration. Every American should be outraged. If this is even partially true, you should be outraged. This is what it was all about when they put the Bill of Rights in. And that Bill of Rights, yes, it includes your right to bear arms. I don't want to offend anybody. I know everybody loves those arms. But it also includes your right to speak freely without facing arms, to express yourself. And if that is what they got, I'm just shocked. The other thing that surprised me now is that they can search his phone. I'll be candid, I am not sure what the rules are as far as coming into the United States as a foreign national, how much of an investigation they can conduct. But I can tell you that this is the first time or the first era in American history where they start, it's almost like the thought police. I could understand if, for example, they wanted to find out if you have the codes to some terrorist plot or some contacts that they're looking for. They're tipped off to you. But I will tell you, this business of getting on the phone and hunting through it and seeing if you find something that one political party or another political party may find insulting. It's not even offensive. For God's sakes, you saw that picture. They can start searching for that and make decisions on what you can do and where you can go. That should be something that every single American should get up and scream about. So again, I may be hot under the collar, and it is not because it's 100 degrees outside. Yes, it's been hot, and I hope everybody's been escaping it. Frankly, this sounds to me like this guy did nothing and was denied entry. Whether it was for a trip or a vacation doesn't really matter to me. Just the thought that somebody comes to visit me from overseas, and if they have the wrong meme, or they're not, they're subscribed to the wrong webpage, political webpage, they could be turned around, to me, just frosts me like you can't believe. Wait a minute, I just went from being hot under the collar to frosted. That's how bad this is. Viewers, please, you have to speak up about this stuff. Write your congressman, because that is not American. None of this is American, and we got to knock this stuff off. All this thug business, even if I know the whole story, you say, oh, you're wrong, MSNBC says they're wrong or something. The problem is this is entirely believable given what we've already seen in the last last couple of months. This is believable. Even if what is said is not true, it is too easy to believe knowing what is that which is true. So, Americans, speak up. Viewers, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate your viewership. Please hit like, subscribe, and please again leave your comments. Always love to see them, read them. Every time I can respond to them. And we'll see you next time. Signing off for Post Pollock, it's Dave Epstein. Bye-bye.